Hey everyone, and welcome to a deep dive that I think you're going to find really fascinating.
Yeah, this should be a good one.
We are going to be diving into the psychology of persuasion.
It's a really interesting topic.
It is, and to guide us, we're using Robert Cialdini's Influence, Science and Practice.
Oh, it's a classic.
It is a classic, and by the end of this deep dive, you will understand the subtle triggers that make people say yes,
That's the goal.
even the stuff we often miss in everyday life.
Yes, exactly.
Not only will you become a more persuasive communicator, but you'll also be more savvy about when these tactics are being used on you.
You'll be able to spot them from a mile away.
Exactly. So,
What Cialdini does so well is he takes all this complex research and shows how these principles play out in the real world.
oh, absolutely, like in everyday life.
Yeah, in our everyday interactions, but also like
Oh, yeah,
in business and politics.
for sure.
Really gives you a new lens to see the world through.
Okay, so let's jump right in. One of Cialdini's core ideas is that humans have these automatic response patterns.
Oh yeah, like mental shortcuts.
Yeah, and these shortcuts can be exploited.
Totally, they can.
It reminds me of that example of the mother turkey,
Oh yeah.
who will nurture anything that makes the right cheap sound.
Even if it's a stuffed predator.
Yeah, even a stuffed predator.
It's amazing.
So, are we humans really that different from that turkey?
I mean, we like to think we're more sophisticated, but
Right.
we have these shortcuts too.
So we have cheap buttons
Yeah.
that make us do things without realizing why.
Well, yeah, because they bypass our rational thinking.
So what are some of the big ones?
One of the most powerful is reciprocity, this idea of give and take.
Okay. But does a free Coke really make someone more likely to buy raffle tickets?
It does. It actually works.
Really?
Yeah, and it's not just about material things.
No. Okay.
Even concessions can trigger reciprocity.
Concessions like,
Like if someone lowers a price, you feel obligated to concede in return,
oh, interesting.
even if that initial offer was ridiculous.
So you're saying if I start by asking for something crazy and then back down,
Exactly.
the other person is more likely to agree to my real request.
It's a classic negotiation tactic.
Is that what happened with the Watergate break-in?
That's what Cialdini argues.
Wow.
The initial plan was so over the top that the scaled-back versions seemed reasonable.
That's a pretty high-stakes example.
It is.
So we need to be aware of when someone's giving us something or making a concession,
Absolutely.
because it might be a tactic to get us to do something in return.
Right. It's all about understanding the game.
It is. Okay, so what else?
Another powerful principle is commitment and consistency.
Okay.
We have this deep desire to be consistent with our past actions,
Yeah, I guess so.
even if the initial reason for the commitment is gone.
This makes me think of those toy companies that create artificial scarcity before Christmas.
Oh, yeah, they're masters at this.
Parents promise their kids a toy that's sold out, and then after Christmas, when the toy is available again, they feel obligated to buy it.
Precisely. And the more public and effortful the commitment, the stronger its hold on us.
Like hazing rituals. Exactly. They increase group loyalty because of the hardship involved.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
It is so, even a small, insignificant commitment
Right.
can be used to leverage larger actions later on.
That's the idea.
Wow, that's kind of scary,
It can be.
but fascinating.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so what's next?
Well, this leads us to social proof.
Okay, what is that?
We look to others, especially similar others, to figure out how to behave.
It's like when you're at a fancy dinner and you have no idea which fork to use.
Exactly.
You just watch everyone else.
You look for those social cues.
It's a shortcut to figure out what's correct.
Precisely. But social proof can have serious consequences, too.
Oh, like how?
Think about marketing companies.
Nice.
They use testimonials and reviews
Yeah,
because we're more likely to buy something if we see other people have liked it.
makes sense. But aren't there times when following the crowd can be dangerous?
Absolutely. There are times when it can backfire.
Like when...
The classic example is the bystander effect.
Oh, right.
The more people who witness an emergency,
Yeah,
the less likely anyone is to intervene.
because everyone assumes someone else has already called for help.
Exactly.
So in a crisis, our instinct to look to others can actually paralyze us.
It's a powerful force.
That's a sobering thought.
It is.
It seems that understanding this principle could be a matter of life or death.
It really could.
Wow. Okay, so we've covered reciprocity, commitment, and consistency,
Yep.
and social proof. What's next?
Well, we'll save that for part 2.
Oh, come on. You can't leave us hanging like that.
You'll just have to wait and see.
All right, fine, but you better deliver.
I promise it'll be worth the wait. Okay, so where were we?
You left us hanging with that cliffhanger about the next principle.
Oh, right. Yes.
So what is, spill the beans?
Well, it's liking.
Liking. I mean, that seems obvious.
It does seem obvious, right?
Of course, we're more likely to be persuaded by someone we like.
But it's more nuanced than that.
Okay, how so?
Because this liking can be manipulated.
Manipulate. Give me an example.
Think about those doctor endorsements in ads.
Oh, yeah, with attractive actors in white coats.
Exactly. They use attractive people because we associate good looks with positive qualities.
Like trustworthiness and intelligence.
Exactly. It's not rational, but it works.
So it's not about genuine liking. It could be manufactured.
It can be, and similarity plays a big role too.
Similar, how so?
We tend to like people who are similar to us.
Like if they have the same opinions or come from a similar background?
Yes, or even something as simple as having the same name.
Really, just having the same name can make you like someone more?
You can have a subtle influence.
So if a salesperson finds out I'm a dog lover and starts talking about their rescue pup,
Yep, that's a classic tactic.
it's all starting to feel like a conspiracy.
Well, it's not a conspiracy, but it's about understanding these subtle influences.
Okay, so liking, what's the next principle?
Well, next we have authority.
Authority.
We're conditioned to obey authority figures.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Even when their requests are questionable.
I mean, we see that all the time, right?
All the time respecting our parents, teachers, following traffic laws.
But it also makes us vulnerable to people who exploit that trust.
Exactly.
Like by using symbols of authority.
Right. Titles, uniforms, even luxury cars.
It creates this aura of authority.
It triggers automatic deference.
Like those financial advisors who show off their wealth.
Precisely. They're playing on that tendency to trust those who appear successful.
Okay. That's a little unsettling.
It is a bit, isn't it?
It makes you wonder how much of our decision-making is really our own.
It's a good question to ask ourselves.
All right, so we've got liking, we've got authority. What's next?
Well, last but not least, we have scarcity.
Scarcity. Oh, this one gets me every time.
That gets a lot of people.
That fear of missing out.
It's a powerful motivator.
It is. So tell me more about scarcity.
We tend to value things more when they're scarce.
Like limited edition products or limited time offers?
Exactly. It creates a sense of urgency.
Which makes us act impulsively.
Often overrides rational decision-making.
Okay, so how can I avoid getting caught up in the frenzy?
Well, first, recognize it for what it is, a tactic.
Okay.
Ask yourself, is the scarcity real or manufactured?
Good plan.
Do I really need this item?
And will it still be useful even if it's not scarce?
Those are the key questions.
It's like those cookies in the jar.
The ones that were almost gone seemed more appealing.
But they didn't actually taste any better.
Exactly. Scarcity doesn't equal value.
Okay, so we've covered all 6 principles.
We have reciprocity, commitment, and consistency, social proof, liking, authority, and scarcity.
It's kind of overwhelming to think about how many tactics are being used on us every day.
It can be, but knowledge is power.
So it's not just about protecting ourselves from manipulation.
It's also about using this knowledge to be more persuasive in our own lives.
But how do we do that ethically? That's the key.
That's a great question, and we'll dive into that in part 3.
Oh, come on, not another cliffhanger.
I promise it'll be worth the wait. It really is amazing how these principles can be used in so many different areas of life.
Yeah, and you're right. It's rarely just one of them at play. It's usually a combination.
Exactly like a persuasive cocktail.
So how do these principles actually work together? Can you give me an example?
Sure, think about a door-to-door salesperson.
Okay.
They might start by offering you a free sample, invoking reciprocity.
Right.
Then they point out how many of your neighbors have already bought the product that's social proof.
Oh, I see.
And then to seal the deal, they mention a limited time discount to create scarcity.
Wow. So they're hitting you with 3 different principles at once.
Exactly. It's a triple whammy.
So they've got you coming and going.
That's the idea.
It's like a persuasive 1, 2, 3 punch.
It really is. And that's why it's so important to be aware of these principles.
Because once you understand how they work.
You can start to see them everywhere.
Yeah, in advertising.
Politics, even your personal relationships.
It's like you've been given a secret decoder ring for human behavior.
That's a great way to put it.
So it's not just about protecting ourselves from being manipulated.
It's also about using this knowledge to be more persuasive in our own lives.
But how do we do that ethically? That's the big question.
It's all about using these principles with integrity and respect for others.
Okay, can you give me a specific example?
Let's say you're trying to get your team to buy into a new project.
Okay.
You could start by highlighting how similar projects have been successful in the past. That's social proof.
Makes sense.
Then you frame the project in terms of the benefits it will bring to the team and the company, appealing to their sense of reciprocity.
So instead of just giving orders, you're creating a more collaborative environment.
Exactly. You're getting everyone on board and excited about the project.
And hopefully that leads to better results.
That's the idea. And remember, authenticity is key.
Oh, absolutely. People can spot a phony a mile away.
They can. So if you're going to use these principles, make sure your intentions are genuine.
And that you truly believe in what you're selling.
Exactly.
Well, this has been an incredibly eye-opening deep dive.
I'm glad you found it helpful.
I feel like I've learned so much about human behavior and how to navigate the world more effectively.
That's what we were hoping for.
Any final words of wisdom before we wrap up?
Just, this knowledge is power, but it's what you do with that knowledge that really matters.
So use it wisely.
Use it ethically and with respect for others, and you can achieve amazing things.
Well said. I think that's a perfect note to end on. Thanks so much for joining us on this deep dive into the world of influence.
It was my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And to our listeners, thanks for tuning in. We hope you found this episode as fascinating and empowering as we did Ishid. Remember, the more you understand about the psychology of persuasion, the better equipped you'll be to navigate the complexities of human interaction and achieve your goals, whatever they may be. So keep learning, keep exploring, and keep using your influence for good. Until next time.